A dangerous Venezuelan gang has been invading the US, and this can't be ignored any longer. Welcome to America Uncovered, I'm Chris Chappell. Before I begin, I have a goal to get America Uncovered to 600,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you're watching and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. So, there are a lot of infamous Latino criminal organizations that have become household names in the US, like MS-13, Los Zetas, the Sinaloa Cartel, and the group behind Los Pollos Hermanos. But there's a new bully on the block, and it's called Tren de Aragua, or TDA. And yes, many of them have Michael Jordan tattoos, because even ruthless criminals want to be like Mike. Space Jam is for everyone. Unfortunately, this is no pushover gang. This is the kind of gang that some call MS-13 on steroids. This brutal gang started in the Tocorón prison in the state of Aragua in Venezuela, around 2012 to 13. But since 2018, the group has expanded across Latin America, committing heinous crimes like kidnapping, drug dealing, human trafficking, contract killing, extortion, and sexploitation. If you can think of it, they've done it, and will call you soft for not thinking of something worse. These are the kinds of cultured people who toss around dismembered body parts and post videos on social media of their victims begging for their lives before getting executed. But those are just some of the kinds of people coming into the US thanks to the current migrant crisis. Remember, they're not here to take part in the American dream. They'd rather rob the dream of all its money and leave it for dead in an alley. That's why across the US, TDA members are smuggling illegal guns into migrant shelters using food delivery bags, luring women into forced prostitution rings, committing armed heists, and selling dangerous drugs like Tusi, also known as pink cocaine. One place having a heck of a time dealing with Tren de Aragua is New York City. Not only does it have to deal with the crimes mentioned earlier, but it also has to watch out for would-be cop killers. 19-year-old Bernardo Castromata was arrested in June and charged with shooting at NYPD officers. He belonged to Tren de Aragua. So did the 19 and 21-year-old men who were among the group of migrants that beat up two NYPD officers. The sad thing is, New York isn't alone. In Chicago, people are at their wits' end with the gang. People there fear a turf war is going to break out between Chicago gangs and Tren de Aragua, which has to be a weird feeling, simultaneously being terrified of gang violence spilling over while also rooting for the local gangs, because you gotta support the home team. And with all this crime being committed by TDA, you'd think it'd be important to put the gang members in jail, because, they commit crimes. But you'd be wrong. As a matter of fact, there are officials who think it's actually a good idea to let TDA members who've committed crimes go free. That's exactly what one Chicago judge did, despite a request from ICE to detain him. And surprise, surprise, that TDA member ended up being charged for a violent jewelry store heist in Denver, Colorado a month later. And speaking of crimes in Colorado, it seems Tren de Aragua is also lurking in the city of Aurora, Colorado, which became a hotspot after a video went viral showing TDA members infiltrating a Colorado apartment complex. And yet somehow even this was not without controversy. At first, the mayors of Denver and Aurora claimed that coverage of TDA was exaggerated and was creating hysteria. Aurora cops agreed and said the apartment was not taken over by TDA. But reports exist that show the exact opposite. These reports show that Colorado authorities knew that TDA took control of apartments, and Aurora police reportedly met with the FBI and Homeland Security investigations to discuss the gang problem at the apartments. So while it's hard to say to what extent TDA has expanded in cities like Aurora, we do know that they are active in many places across the US. Members have been found in New Jersey, Florida, Louisiana, Georgia, Texas, and more. And since they're spreading all over the US, it would be great to get a better understanding of the situation with TDA. But unfortunately, when it comes to migrants and immigration, the left and right seem to be living in completely different universes, where facts are more of a choose-your-own-adventure experience. This was made very clear after Trump brought up Aurora during the presidential debate with Kamala Harris. As if on cue, the mainstream media couldn't help itself and went from focusing on TDA to TDS. Media outlets began to go out of their way to fact-check Trump, saying TDA hasn't taken over Aurora, and any claims suggesting otherwise were dismissed as sensationalized mumbo-jumbo. Because the media is in such a hurry to disprove everything Trump says. If he said don't do drugs, the media would say that's dangerous. And I'm not joking, that's something that actually happened. But now that we know the reality of TDA in Aurora and other places, it seems the media might not have been very honest with the public. As always, the media focused on the technicalities, on whether TDA has overrun or taken over cities and towns. But they're completely missing the point. We know the gang is in Aurora and other places. The very fact that TDA is even around in the first place is a serious problem. And if the US doesn't do something about TDA soon, there's a good chance we'll be seeing a lot more brutality across the country. The good news is that despite the dishonest media's attempts, people are finally becoming aware of TDA. Tren de Aragua has become such a concern that the US Treasury Department sanctioned it as a transnational criminal organization. And Texas Governor Greg Abbott designated TDA as a foreign terrorist organization. So they're criminals and terrorists spreading across the US. The very thing the government says it's working hard to stop? Well, that's hilarious because, according to the New York Post, the Border Patrol only started keeping tabs on them last year. Throw in the fact that the agency can't even access other countries' criminal databases and has a completely busted US border to manage, and it's like playing a thrilling game of find the needle in the haystack. And since they sell drugs, it's a hypodermic needle. So it's no wonder TDA members have such an easy time entering the US. I've never seen a cruel organization go under the radar that well since Los Pollos Hermanos. Thank you for watching America Uncovered. And here's another episode I think you're going to like. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time.